Hey everyone, hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Today's entry is from June 5th, 2024 at 6:31 p.m. Work started 2 days ago, and I can say that currently it's kind of meh. I'm not one who likes to look up papers and tries to understand them, but it's something that is necessary to not waste time or money down the line. I did get to create some test samples yesterday and hope to get them printed tomorrow. Outside of work, I've been exhausted to the point where I just lay in bed and watch YouTube. The stress I create for myself hinders my motivation. I'm so worried about not fully comprehending the material that I'm studying to the point that I get burned out. I feel trapped. The only thing I can do is stick it out, to which I inform you that upon my arrival back to the States, I had already agreed to continue this research because otherwise I'd have no job. I can only hope that things will go up once I start actually performing tests and gathering data. Surely this is just the sand dune before the oasis. I think I should invest in the Unreal Engine and start creating my own little video games. Well, they wouldn't be games really, more so experiences, liminal experiences. I'd probably want a killer PC though to do that. I don't know if my MacBook could really take that. I haven't mentioned this to anyone yet, but this bed sucks ass. It's the most uncomfortable bed I think I've slept in which it makes me have a hard time sleeping. Oh well. I luckily only have a month and 10 days until I leave. It seems so far away, but hopefully time flies at Mach 10. 6:52 p.m. So this is a short entry, just a little update for me because like in previous videos where I've discussed I've been bored or have had lack of motivation, it's something that has been reoccurring during my stay in France. And it has nothing to do with France. It has everything to do with me because I'm very introverted, so going out is not something I like to do often, and meeting new people, especially when you speak a completely different language, is very intimidating because although I have taken 2 years of French in high school and have recently used a Duolingo to help me remember my French, it's still very broken and still very bad in my opinion. And although I do try to speak French and I can do it to, ask for directions, order meals, and whatnot, actually just talking French to talk French is something that never really ended up occurring while I was there because a lot of the people that I worked with, they had spoken English and they told me, don't worry about speaking French. English is actually pretty easy for us to learn. And I appreciate that. I really do. It made my life a whole lot easier. But I do kind of wish that I had spent more time with them just talking and understanding the French language because that would be a skill that I think would be very useful. And it's something that I had in mind when going there, and it just never came into fruition. I would say the only time I really got up to go and do something outside of work is to literally just walk around the town. And the town is very impressive. If you don't know, Rouen is like the city of churches, and they got a whole bunch of churches everywhere. And they have a bunch of very beautiful architecture and buildings. One of the places that I went to the most, though, was one of their libraries. And my favorite experience came from the library, in which, when I was there, I was looking at the manga section, in which they have a huge manga section compared to what you would find in Barnes and Nobles, for instance. And I had a kid come up, and he was like, "Oh, excusez-moi," and I was like, "Oh, désolé," which means sorry. And as soon as I said that, he's like, "You speak English?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." And so he got a bunch of his friends to come over, and then they started practicing their English with me, and that had stuck in my head. And I thought, that is so awesome that these kids who are probably like 9 to 12 maybe, are practicing English at that age. Because in America, we don't practice any other language until we're 15, basically. And by that time, we've already kind of solidified our ability to use different languages. If you know, like psychology, it's right around, I think, 10, in which we kind of like cap out of learning new languages. And so for these kids to be learning at such a young age is such a great thing. And it's something that I think we as America should actually adopt, because that way we can have a lot more people who understand other languages, which makes it a whole lot easier for foreigners, if they're coming in legally, to communicate with us, and for them to have a better experience coming to America, instead of how I felt going there, in which I didn't speak a whole lot of French. I didn't know a lot of whole other language. I only knew a couple things, and it made it very intimidating for me to socialize and get out there. And the fact that when I went to work, the people I knew spoke English kind of made me feel a little bit more comfortable of being there at work. And so I really do think that we should start having younger generation to start learning languages a whole lot earlier, because that is when they're developing their language skills, and it would help cement other languages into their lifestyle, and would allow us as Americans to be a bit more inviting to other people who are coming in, either to visit or get a job, whatever it may be. So I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'm probably going to make another video in 2 seconds again. So make sure you look out for that one when it comes out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.